And welcome back to Times Square today. I'm Bob Guiney, your host, and I am joined by Stacie Shifflett. Stacie, you are the CEO and founder of Modern Consciousness, but I think it's the tip of the iceberg with you. I mean, I'm fascinated by the things that I've gotten to know about you. But first, before we even get into it, we're in Times Square.
I know, is this amazing?
We're in the heart and soul of New York City. How did you get from where you started to be sitting here right now in this moment?
Oh gosh, I call myself a proficient student of life. I have done so many things. I have a natural tendency to reinvent myself every 10 years.
Yeah.
I have been in corporate boardrooms. I acquired a $50 million company without investing a penny.
I know, I love that story.
Cool.
We got to talk about that.
I had a llama farm. I've done all kinds of things, and here I am now with Modern Consciousness.
Yeah, I love your story, and I think our viewers would love to hear it as well. You know, a lot of us go through big changes in life. A lot of times people choose to pack it up in those moments, right? And I think it's really interesting how you use that as a launch pad for this next phase in your career, your life. Can you share a little bit of that with us?
I went through a divorce. My 28-year marriage imploded in 2012. The future that I imagined vanished.
Right.
And I was a very angry woman for a bit. And, you know, I did all the things I thought I was supposed to be doing. And I just was not happy inside. And I realized, I was like, Stacie, okay, so everything you've created in your life. You're going to have to take charge of this. Life just isn't going to organically evolve.
Right.
I set about studying in earnest personal development. And I've been on that journey for over a decade by now. But the thing that was maybe a little different about me is I'm an analyst at heart.
Sure.
I wanted to figure myself out, but I had this desire to figure out humanity in a broader context through my studies.
Yeah. So that broader focus really led you to a little more inner peace, I would guess. I mean, seeing what's going on, right? I mean, there's chaos everywhere. I mean,
there is chaos. And you know, I really believe that inner peace, it's our greatest asset.
Yeah.
The prerequisite for that is knowledge. We have to expand outside of our limited worldview.
Sure.
Begin to appreciate other things through awareness and compassion. Knowledge by itself does nothing unless it's applied.
Yeah.
And what I do is help people apply that in their lives. I'm a real practical girl, right? In a very practical, meaningful, effective way.
Yeah, I love that you said the word compassion. I think our world could use a lot more of compassion on a daily basis, you know, just empathy for others and realizing that it's not always all about us, right?
It's a lot
Even though that
easier.
journey is, but it can be about everyone else as well.
Absolutely.
So what do you think I mean, like you said, this has been over a decade that you've been really focused on this development. What do you think is a misconception people might have about what it is that you do and what your message of what you do is?
Well, I think the first one really is that, you know, you're responsible for your own stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you just are. It really doesn't matter what happened to you. Stuff happens to all of us at varying degrees. My first child died, divorced. I nursed my parents through their death. I've had some major tragic experiences. But we are truly responsible for ourselves. We take ourselves everywhere we go.
Yeah.
So who do you want to go with, right? Do you want to go with someone that's upbeat and optimistic? It doesn't mean you don't honor your emotions when you have a moment.
Yeah.
You know, you need to do that and move them through. The other one, I think people think that you're going to find that one seminar, that one workshop, that one book that's magically going to change everything for you. You have epiphanies, and you certainly learn things, and you have a breakthrough. Wow, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
But again, until you apply it to your life and you actually embody it, you actually become the person who exhibits that characteristic, doesn't do any good.
Sure.
Right.
So you got to take action on it.
You have to take action. I call it right action.
Oh, I like that. That's nice.
Thanks.
Now, do you have a story you could share with our viewers about a client or a friend or any experience that you've had where you've seen what you do with the Modern Consciousness and really transformed them?
I'm going to level that up. One of the things that I really do with my clients, we look at every area of your life, and I really look at themes. I have a gift. It helped me in my professional career too, of seeing the big picture and the details and the themes kind of all at once. It gets crazy up here.
There's a lot going on.
But if you have a self-sabotaging behavior, right? We don't always realize, right? Perfection is a good example, right? So if I have a client and they're suffering with perfectionism, you know, oh, I can't, I can't hire anybody because nobody does it as good as I do. They don't
Right.
do it as well as I do. Well, that's a limiting belief. You can't grow your business with that belief, right?
Right.
You're not creating trustful relationships. Another easy one on perfectionism. Your kids or your spouse tries to help you and loads the dishwasher. And you yell at them because they didn't do it the way that you
Okay, I might be guilty of this actually, yeah.
But honestly, it's like, let that stuff go and honor the fact that they're doing it and be appreciative of it.
Yeah.
And if you course correct, do it in a gentle way. But sometimes, what's the big deal?
Right.
So
oh my gosh, I think about this every day.
You have to look at how it impacts all the little pieces of your life, right?
Yeah.
If you're the perfectionist person and you're traveling with someone and your flight gets delayed, or
that could blow their whole world up,
and you can't let that stuff blow your world up.
Yeah.
So those are the kinds of transformations that I try, that I work with people on and help them see little steps and little practical actions on how to do that. And it's all about awareness. You have to catch yourself in the moment.
Sure. In a little bit, I would imagine you have to relinquish a little bit of control to a certain degree,
Wow,
right?
I can only control so much.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Not a lot.
I know, that's the truth. Well, you know what? I think you've shared so much today with our viewers. Is there anything that you want to share with them that maybe we haven't touched on yet that would really let them know what makes what you do a little bit different?
I really look at everything holistically. I find that we evaluate so many things in our lives routinely, but we do everything in its own way, right?
Yeah.
We look at the car, we go to our annual doctor's appointment, we check the checkbook, we look at the revenue on our companies. We look at things in isolation instead of holistically.
Sure.
We don't realize necessarily what we're bringing home from work into our family and how we're damaging the relationship, or vice versa.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I find that it's really important to look at it in that manner, because if it's showing up in one part of your life, it's showing up somewhere else. It just looks different.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure that is true.
Yes.
One last question for you. Do you ever think of your life kind of like BD and AD, right? So Stacie before divorce, Stacie after divorce.
I wouldn't be who I was today had I not gone through that experience.
Yeah.
But I have
It's like the butterfly effect, right?
Yes, but I have a series of those throughout my 67 years now on this planet. So I appreciate all of the experiences.
Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate your message. I appreciate what you're putting out into the universe. I think it's very optimistic, very positive. I think it creates hope. Well, if our viewers want to be able to find you, how would they get in touch with you? Where would they go to find more information on what it is that you do?
My website, modernconsciousness.com. I have a free gift on there that helps you. One of the ways to unravel your subconscious and what's bugging you is your emotional triggers.
Yeah.
And there's a great resource on my website there, charting your treasure map to joy, because that's what I help people do, is chart their treasure map to joy. You can find me on social, more about me. Everything's on my website.
I love it. Well, Stacie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for what you're doing. Thanks for the message that you're putting out there. And thanks for joining us on Times Square today.